Are you gonna stop?
Hey everybody, it's David, and this is my weekly review of the horror flicks I watched this week. I know it's only Saturday, but I did manage to squeeze in 7 movies this week. I had a little more time in the evenings and was feeling a little more ambitious. So Monday night, I watched a movie called The Curse of La Llorona. It's from the Conjuring universe, but it's essentially the story about this woman who is married and has 2 sons. She eventually learns that her husband has been cheating on her, and to get back at him, she takes away the 2 things he loves most and drowns their 2 sons. Feeling grief by all of this, she drowns herself, and she is cursed to walk the earth forever. Fast forward 200 years to the 1980s, and there is a woman who is a widow with 2 kids. And she's a social worker. She gets a call one night to go visit a woman that's one of her cases. And this woman, Patricia, has locked her 2 sons in this closet. Well, she breaks the kids out of the closet, and they end up taking Patricia to jail. And she promises these 2 boys, I'm going to make this right. I'm going to find you some place that's safe where you can sleep for the night, and we will find you a home where you get the love and attention that you deserve. Well, that night they're at a halfway house, and La Llorona visits the 2 boys, and they are discovered the next morning dead. Patricia is grief-stricken by it, and she prays to La Llorona to curse the social worker's family. As you can imagine, the 2 young kids of the social worker start seeing La Llorona, and eventually the social worker starts seeing her too. I won't tell you how it ends, but you can probably guess how it ends. Again, this was one of those movies from the Conjuring universe, which I've not been a fan of. This one was a decent movie. I'm going to give it 3 stars out of 5. Tuesday night, I watched a Netflix original called The Open House. This was a slow burn for me. I didn't care much for it. The story is about this woman and her son that are grief-stricken because they just recently lost their husband and dad. They're facing some financial struggles. The woman's sister says, hey, you're welcome to go stay at my summer house. It's currently on the market, but no one's there right now. You can stay as long as you need to. So they go to this summer house. They meet the neighbor lady. She's very quirky. So they spend the night, and they wake up one Sunday morning to the realtor in the house that says, hey, look, we have open house every Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. So you need to get out so we can do our open house. We'll lock the door, put the key into the mat, so when you get home, you can let yourself in. Well, they go out, they get home, and the house has been left unlocked. The son's panicked about it. He goes through every room, checking under every bed and every closet. He goes to the basement. They don't find anything, but he's still just uneasy about the whole situation. Well, that night, he and his mom are in the living room watching a movie. She has to go to the bathroom, so he gets up and goes into the kitchen and makes himself some popcorn. And they both reconvene in the living room, and the basement door is suddenly open. Mom just dismisses it as being a draft that opened it. The son is, of course, freaked out about it, but they call it a night. They go upstairs. The son has a bowl of cereal or food with him, and he's puts it on the nightstand, goes to get his cell phone, which was charging, and his cell phone is gone. So he starts going through the house looking for it, and goes back downstairs, and that bowl of cereal he had in his bedroom is now suddenly on the coffee table in the living room. The next morning, mom's taking a shower, and the water gets cold all of a sudden. She goes down to the basement and finds the pilot has gone out. She relights it, goes back upstairs, finishes her shower. The next morning, the same thing happens again. This time she goes back down to the basement and finds her son's cell phone. She accuses him of, messing with her. He gets mad and starts spouting off at the mouth, tells her that he hates her because she's never once asked how he's dealing with his father's death. He's bitter because he's had to move away from his high school and his friends to this house in the middle of nowhere. So there's a little bit of a strain going on between the two of them. A few days go by, and all of a sudden, more strange occurrences begin happening, and someone is in fact in the house. I won't tell you how it ends, but I was very disappointed. The movie just left you with more questions than answers, and I hate those kind of movies. So I'm gonna give this one 2 stars out of 5. Wednesday night I watched a movie, also a Netflix original, called Soul to Keep. And it's the story of these 20-somethings that have gone away for the weekend to one of the friends' deceased grandfather's farmhouse. It's out in the middle of nowhere. They're drinking, doing drugs, essentially having a rave. But then all of a sudden the power goes off. The grandson of the deceased grandfather goes downstairs to find the breaker box, and when he flips on the power, he sees this area that appears to have been used for rituals. He calls his friends downstairs, and they find this book with incantations in it. And one of the friends just happens to be a Wiccan, and she knows exactly what these incantations do. They start reading from the book. They get kind of spooked out about the whole thing, but over the course of these incantations, the Wiccan girl gets possessed by a demon. They slowly start getting picked off one by one until there's only 2 people left in the house, one being the Wiccan and another being this deaf girl. And I won't tell you how it ends, but your typical movie. This one was better than the open house, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Let's see, Thursday night I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I think it was 2003 it came out, but it has Jessica Biel in it, and it's one that I've always enjoyed. I like it much better than the original. One of the characters in the film his name is Kemper, which is where my dog gets his name. But yeah, it's filmed great. I really like the gore in the movie. It's got action and drama, and it has the guy from Full Metal Jacket as the sheriff, and I can't remember his name. He just recently passed away, but great movie, one that I watch every year about this time, and if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out if horror is your thing. Let's see, Friday night I watched another remake, and that was the Amityville Horror, starring Ryan Reynolds. Again, another one I watch every year about this time. I really like it. It's as good as the original in my opinion. They do take some liberties and add some additional characters that aren't from the original, like the babysitter. That's a cool scene. But yeah, actually, no, there was a babysitter in the first one, wasn't there? Yeah, anyways. Still a great movie. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Ryan Reynolds, typically does comedies, but this is a very good dramatic horror for him. If you haven't seen it, check it out. All right, today I managed to watch 2 movies. The first one I watched, yet again, another remake, and that was The Omen, starring Lee Schreiber and Julia Stiles. It's a good remake, the same storyline as the original. I still prefer the original with Gregory Peck over the remake, but still a fun watch and one that I watch every year. And I'm gonna give this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then I just finished watching 1999's Stigmata. I can't believe this movie's already 20 years old. Anyways, it stars Patricia Arquette and Gabriel Burns. This woman gets a gift from her friend, and it's a rosary bead set, and she starts experiencing the different stages of Stigmata. Gabriel Burns is just there to kind of investigate the case. Doesn't believe, that what this woman is experiencing is paranormal. He thinks that she's doing it to herself. He spends the night with her and then witnesses firsthand some of the things that are happening to her. Great movie, one of my favorites. Again, I can't believe it's 20 years old, but it's held up very well. If you haven't seen it, definitely worth checking out. So yeah, those are my 7 movies this week. Halloween is 5 days away, so I'll be watching some movies, and I will film a video probably Thursday night and upload it with those reviews. I hope you're having a great weekend so far. That's going to do it for this video, and until next time, take care. Thanks.